Yeah, g'day. Welcome to Cook Punts FC episode uno. My name's Elliot Lovejoy. This is a show for the punters by the punters, but normally when you catch on to this kind of thing, you're getting tips that people explain to you as them being experts. These are fucking four horrible punters that we have in a group. You're going to meet some of my mates along the way. First up, my friend Becca. How are you, pal?
Hey, buddy. How are you?
I'm well. Becca, NRL tragic, played a bit of rugby with Shithouse, was normally drunk, so he couldn't turn up to most of his games. Probably could have gone a long way. Matthew, hello, pal.
Hello. What's going on?
Matt dabbles in the world of basketball, mustaches, played rugby union at a sneaky high level, but won't talk to us much about it. And then the only fit person really in the group outside of that is Scott. Hello, pal, who is a UFC tragic. Normally puts bet slips on us with blokes' names we can't pronounce. How are you, boys? All right?
Good, mate. Good.
Very lovely, thank you.
Happy to be
Everyone's
here.
well. Hey, so the opportunity over the next few weeks for us and for anyone that can be asked watching this shit, good luck to you if you can stick through a whole episode, is we're going to gamble. We're going to gamble together. We're going to lose a lot together. But if we win, mate, by the way, through this whole NRL season, 20-odd, whatever it is, rounds, if we can pull off 2 victories between the 4 of us on the footy alone, I will consider that as a season win at this stage. 100%. Few things to punch through in the news world before we do get into our tips. First up, Cameron Smith has given us the gift of retirement today. Undisputed GOAT in the world of rugby league. I used to argue that because of my great love for Andrew Johns, but over the last, I'd say, 18 to 24 months, my views have been softened. This man, the best on the field, a legend off the field. So many people in the media in particular were saying, when is this dude retiring? When are we getting an announcement? When are we getting something happening? We actually spent some time with Cam a little while ago on a radio show we do. And you could tell by the way he spoke, and he was speaking about the book he released end of last year, that if he was to retire, it sounded like he was going to sail off into the sunset because he's just a country kid at the end of the day.
Playing rugby league, I just wanted to play footy and be left alone outside of that. You know, yeah. I didn't see it as me wanting to be in the papers or creating headlines or being a part of anything controversial. I just wanted to play footy and then live a quiet, simple life. Because you got to remember, I'm a kid from Logan City in the southern suburbs of Brizzy. I was raised by a brickie, and my mum was a stay-at-home mum that looked after myself and my brother and sister. And the same for my wife. She's from Logan too. We met in high school, and we're very simple people. So at stages throughout my career, to find myself in the papers for a lot of it, which was just, for a lot of the stories and headlines, they were just completely untrue. But the great thing about having the opportunity to write an autobiography is to set the record straight on a lot of those things and go and read my book, then make a decision whether you feel that you agree with me or you don't, and I'm happy with either way, Elliot. I'm not trying to tell people to believe me. I'm just trying to share my story, and if you agree with me, that's great. If not, that's fine also.
You wonder how, and this is for any of you blokes to jump on, you wonder how they're up here. I'm from south of the border. I've always liked Cameron Smith as a player, and as a bloke, he comes across as fantastic. I don't know where the hate comes from. I genuinely don't.
I think he's achieved more as himself than some clubs we have in the NRL. I think he's given more to the game than anyone you can think of. So fair dues to him if he wants to go out this way. And he gets smashed for not having social media and for not answering phone calls. But if he doesn't want to do that, I think he's done enough. He's done more than enough. Tell me I'm wrong.
There's a funny story about him, and we got Ben Dobbin on the show in a little bit. Dobbo, our man on the ground, he's part of the Triple M call team, part of Channel 9 as well. It's a story he was telling me the other day about Cam and just how detached he is from the world of social media and all that. And he said during State of Origin, Mal Meninga obviously would need to call Cam and they'd want to talk over game plans or, hey, is this bloke in or this bloke in or whatever. Never fucking answered his phone. He said during the peak Origin period, they'd be preparing for the decider and Cam just wouldn't pick up to the point where he'd call him 8, 9, 10 times a day. He'd have to call his wife and say, where the fuck is Cameron? to be any chance of getting him on the phone. So, mate, I don't think he gives a shit about James Hooper writing about whether he's a good bloke or not, whether he's
we've all got friends who are shit with their phones, so you need to either contact their missus or their neighbour or something to get onto them. We all know someone.
Hey!
Boy.
There's one among us right now. Yeah.
By the way,
you're not any better yourself, Becca.
You're going to get to know some of these blokes as we go, but Becca and Scott look far too similar, which is why Matt's in the middle. He's our sandwich.
Yeah.
Also,
be the meat and sandwich, Matthew.
Probably the best looking one. Definitely got the most.
Thanks, fellas.
Easily the best hairline.
Yeah.
I was going to say, just about Cam Smith thing, I think you see that with all sports, though. Like, once you reach a certain point in the game, like, you become the biggest thing in the game, like, you just become polarizing. People either love you or they hate you. You see it in all sports across that line. It's got nothing to do with him as a person, if that makes sense.
Hey, thanks, Ron. We appreciate that. What do we got? Graham O'Connor, as a South Nut, I'm glad Smith is retired. We can use all the help we can get as we've never been this time in Melbourne. I think it's 16 times they've gone to Melbourne and 16 times they've lost.
They haven't. South haven't won since Bellamy's coached them, so I think that's 2003.
I'm rethinking my bets this week after that stat.
Yeah.
Hey, that's purely based on the red wine, clearly. Also, rugby league news, Cooper Cronk. This sort of came out over the last few days. There's a photo taken. I think we got access to it somewhere on here. By the way, if we use any footage or videos or whatever, they're not ours. If we get shut down after one show, then fuck off. That's not our fault. But this is Cooper Cronk at Storm training a few days ago, and people are losing their minds because he's contracted to the Sydney Roosters. He's got coaching contracts there, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if any of you had a chance to catch up NRL 360 the last couple of days, because it was Buzz Rothfield that mainly wrote about. There was a bit of a conflict of interest between the Roosters and the Storm. Cooper came out and shut the thing down, saying the Roosters have signed off it, the Storm have signed off on it. Everyone piss off.
I've had a thing with Buzz Rothfield for a long time. I can't understand how he's still relevant, if I'm honest. I know he gets paid. I know he has a job. I know he has a job. He gets paid for his opinion. And he said that on Monday. It was Monday night. He said that on Monday night. I get paid for my opinion. But just because he can't wrap his little peanut of a brain around the fact that Cooper can still be respectful to two clubs that he's worked, like that he's given a lot to, and still give his best in the right channels to each. I wish we could stop hearing about him.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, right? Also on the sporting world, a few other bits and bobs to get into. Overseas, we'll go to next. In the NFL, which you boys know I'm an absolute freak for. I love the stuff. This gentleman's name is Dak Prescott, who you're seeing very grainy footage of right now. He's the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Had a ridiculous injury to his ankle last year. First time he's ever been injured since he came out of college at Mississippi State. That man got paid. He is going to make in his next year with the Dallas Cowboys guaranteed, which includes his signing bonus. And you look at league players that make, I think Cherry Evans is on 1.2. He's the highest paid player in the game. This dude is going to make $75 million next season at the Dallas Cowboys.
How's Cherry Evans on 1.2 mil? He's shit.
You bring the story.
That I don't understand.
Is he not the Queensland captain?
Mate, I love Queensland with a passion, but honestly, 1.2 mil for that flog. Oh, good on the other fella through 75 mil, but that's shocking. That is.
That Prescott.
Is that the entire NRL salary cap? Like, what's each team's salary cap?
Well, it'd be less than 75 mil if they're highest.
Is it like 8? I don't know if I'm right. Is it somewhere between 8 and 10?
Hang on. Scott, you think that, for example, the Manly Seagulls have a salary cap of $75 million?
No, you're flawed. I'm talking about the entire NRL, not one team.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Dude, basic math there.
You were the smart one, bro. Frick.
Meant to be. Also in news, you love your basketball, Matt. We have what's this?
Ooh.
Who's this dude? Who's this dude?
Oh, Blake Griffin, man. Huge
Thank
news
you.
coming out today. Signed with the Brooklyn Nets, leaving Detroit as of today. Old Oklahoma Sooners. Old Oklahoma boy. You'd probably love him for that reason, Elliot.
Sure. I definitely knew he played there. So they're building – the NBA essentially has just turned into a big world of super teams, correct?
Cheers, man. yeah, another super team on the way. So he'll be joining the likes of DeAndre Jordan, Irving, Harden, and who's the other dude?
Kyrie?
Him. Yeah, I said Kyrie Irving, Harden.
Durant, Harden, all that.
Boom.
Yeah. They'll win the whole thing. The Lakers have got
I reckon definitely their conference, they're probably, if not the favorite, I dare say, especially with the already existing. But it'll be really good to see the big men back together. So Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, the two big men, used to play together at LA at the Clippers, my team.
Yeah.
And mate, they do some unreal, like, highlight reel things on the regular. So that'll be really good to get back into.
We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Let's get into punting. I feel like I don't know what Abby's talking about. 30 seconds is a really long time. What we're going to punch through, we got Dobbo coming up in, 5-10 minutes. He's going to give us all that on Cam Smith. He spoke to Cam Smith's dad today, and he caught up with Craig Bellamy too, and he's got his tip for the NRL season this year. He's a man on the ground, part of the Triple M call team, Channel 9 as well. But in the meantime, we're going to go through a couple of things in the betting world. Now, I want to preface by saying, as we did before, when we bet, we normally fucking lose, okay? So I don't want you going, if you're going to be a regular watcher of this show, I don't want you to be a regular watcher of this show, writing down each tip verbatim, thinking, holy shit, he knows something about Brandon Smith, we don't. I don't know shit. I love to bet, though. So that's my rough one. We'll get to that later on. There's a little teaser for you. We're going to go through what we think are our locks of the week. Locks of the week, a.k.a. we're hoping we get past at least the first leg. My first one is a three-legger. Justin Olam is an absolute superstar in the game. $3.70 against the Rabbitohs side, who are, essentially the favourites to win the competition. I understand that. But that man, you give him the ball 20 metres out, he scores a try. That's how the game works. He's a superstar. He's a wrecking ball.
Great season last year.
There are statues to this man in Port Moresby already. He's the king of PNG. Justin Olam, $3.70. Connor Watson, hear me out. Connor Watson has had a lot of injuries at Newcastle. He moves to lock this year. He's going to be starting in the 13 jersey for the first time in his NRL career. It's against the Bulldogs, who have been known to have a relatively weak middle. I don't know what they're going to look like with Trent Barrett. I wouldn't be surprised if they won that game. But I think Newcastle, without Ponga, are going to create packages around the middle that could involve Connor Watson, who's used to playing as a ball-running 6, or he's also played as a 9 as well. So $4.78 for him, I'm really happy with.
Great money.
Thank you. The last one, people may disagree with. Brett Morris against the Manly Eagles. The last 4 times they've met, he scored 3 of the first tries. So purely based on that alone, and because I couldn't be bothered reading through the rest of the form guide, at $9.10 to score the first try of the game, I can't see that Manly team putting that many points on the Roosters. That's why this, at odds of $1 to $160.94, is my lock of the week.
If this is your lock of the week, fuck, we're so screwed.
We're fucking done, man.
I have to say, if your
first
first two get up, you are going to have a very stressful first 5 minutes of that game.
100%. 100%. We got Ben Dobb and Dobbo backstage. What we might do is we'll go to Dobb. We'll come back with our locks after that because I don't want to keep him waiting. Ben Dobbin, if you are not aware of this man's credentials, let me tell you a little something. Ben Dobbin is part of the Triple M call team. Dobbo, as he's affectionately known, there he is, the beautiful man. He's also part of the fabric at Channel 9. I think if we play this clip long enough, there he is with Thorny. There he is with Thorny, the big man.
He's all right.
If we roll this up, here he is, the big man riding a bull. He's on! Very quickly off, if I remember this correctly. That's Gordy, I think, in the background there, trying to help him out. It's even better in slow motion. The great man with us now, Ben Dobbin. How are you, legend?
You've got far too much time on your hands, mate. Let me just say this now. You need to get a hobby because seriously, some of that stuff you've dragged up. Hello, boys. You've got me up from watching. I've been watching maths, and instead I'm here with you guys.
You poor thing.
I know. Thank you so much for hosting this at 8:20 on a Thursday night. I'm so happy to be here.
Hey, it's Christmas Eve, brother. I know that this is the best time of year for you. The footy kicks off tomorrow night. Before we get into, I suppose, the NRL actually kicking off, you had a massive day today covering what happened with Cameron Smith. You caught up with his dad. You caught up with Craig Bellamy.
Yeah, a big day. I think in rugby league, and I hope you guys can hear me all right. I think very rarely have we've just been around in a once in a generation time where the greatest player of all time. I know people are going to compare him and say Wally Lewis and the Reg Gazniers and the Daily Messengers, and their statistics do stack up. But there is one statistic that now Cameron Smith has played the most games of any man to ever play in the NRL. He's won more premierships. He's the most accomplished if you look statistically. And I'm just lucky that we were around to watch him play. I've interviewed him a lot of times. I've had a lot to do with him, and I think it was pretty special. I mean, love him or hate him or love the way the Melbourne Storm play, Cameron Smith is a GOAT. And I thought it was best described today by Wayne Bennett when I spoke to him. I said, is he the best ever? And he said, well, he's in the grand final. And I think that's where he is. I think that's where he sits. I'm not going to say who's better, but it was interesting. And Elliot, you were part of this, that I asked his father, what's it like to have some DNA in the greatest NRL player of all time? And he said, well, he's not. He still said, his own dad said Wally Lewis is still the best player of all time. So when a dad doesn't even back his own son, things are pretty bloody crook, in my opinion.
Oh, so good. Did you actually get a chance to look at the statues they put up for Cam and for Billy? Because, I mean, it's such a special thing, but I don't know if you remember when they did the statue to Ronaldo like a year or two ago, and the likeness was way off. It was actually fucking terrifying. The one of Cam as well, I mean, I zoomed in maybe too far. He could pass as any one of us.
Yeah, look, I'm going to give you a little story about Andrew Voss. He was working for Channel 9 at the time, and he was critical of a statue of Ray Warren. And Ray Hadley at that time had commissioned it, and that ended up in a legal case. And poor old Andrew Voss never called another game of NRL for Channel 9. So I'm going to say right here and now, I thought the statues are amazing. Whoever designed them, whoever commissioned them, I love them. I think it's uncanny resemblance. And basically, I'm sitting on the fence. I ain't criticising anything, but I do hear what you're saying, Elliot. But I'll say you can take that hit up. I ain't taking that hit up at all.
Hey, the NRL finally kicks off tomorrow night. We've been waiting the longest time. I want you to get to your premiership favourites in a second, but the game to kick it off is going to be an absolute belter. Matt's just died. Oh, he's back. Here we go.
Yeah, well, like we all know that Craig Bellamy's record down in Melbourne, he's never lost a round one game in his coaching career at the Melbourne Storm. So, but he's also had Cameron Smith with him, a fair bit of that. I think if they're right for the picking, this is it. I think South Sydney, the hype is real. They're injury free. They're playing good football. Wayne Bennett knows that they're going to need to win in that first 10 weeks, eight games, because they're going to lose a lot of cattle for Origin, and they're chinged up. They're ready to go. Expect South Sydney to come out of the blocks hard for the next 6 to 7 weeks. And everybody talking about them. They will have a lull during the Origin because they lose so many players, and then they'll come home strong. I think Melbourne are good, but you've got no Suli Vunivalu, no Cameron Smith, no Harry Grant, and also no Dale Finucane. Pretty big outs. They're still very strong, don't get me wrong, but it's just that leadership that you can't coach into Brandon Smith, who knows how to game manage at the moment, and that's the area where Cam Smith got Melbourne over the line a lot of times. I just think game management, South Sydney win, I don't know, 22-18. Let's, 22-20. I don't know. Somebody slots a 40-metre 2-point field goal with 1 second to go. Like, who knows? But it's going to happen. Something good will happen, but I think South Sydney get the biscuits.
You're big on South Sydney. Can you go a bit further into why? I know they came really good at the end of last year, but I mean, you're all over them now.
Oh, mate, I'm a lock on them. Put your money. You can shut the premiership down. I say that they can win the comp and win it easy. That's how strong I am with them. And I'll tell you why. Wayne Bennett, we saw Wayne Bennett walking around Suncorp Stadium on November the 18th last year. And as he was waving around and everybody was cheering, he was saying, "See, Brisbane, this is what happens when you effing sack me." And you know what? And that's his mindset, mate. That's his mindset. He is finishing at South Sydney at the end of this year, and guess what? He wants to shove it up Brisbane's tail to show them they should never have sacked him. And mate, he's also pitching for a job. There's going to be a team here in 2023. Wayne wants to coach it. He'll do everything he possibly can to get this side. This is his masterstroke. Rocky, when he went there, he trained alone. Mr. T, he trained alone. He lived alone in Rocky 3. Well, Wayne, mate, he's living on his own now. He's in Sydney. He's focused. You're not going to catch him eating lobster at Leichhardt this year. He's purely eating a kebab from the local store in Redfern, and he's just focusing purely 100% on getting the Rabbits home. I'm saying it now. They're a lock, boys. You can predict all you want. You can go week to week, but the Rabbits are a lock.
That may be our one good tip for the year that Dobbo has locked onto the Rabbits, so we'll be throwing them in, don't worry. Mate, of course, anyone can catch up on all the good work you're doing at Triple M with the Rush Hour Queens. Your conversations today were outstanding with Craig Bellamy and with Wayne Smith, Cam's dad. You can jump on the podcast, catch them there. I know this is late for you. We will be bugging you right throughout the football season, I'm sorry to say. I know Wednesday night you're calling footy. You have no excuse not to jump on.
Can't wait.
What are you going to do, hang out with the family? Who the fuck wants that?
Yeah, well.
Good on you, Dom. Thanks, legend.
All right, guys, keep on trucking. Stay safe on the roads. And remember, when the wheat is ripe, you keep the headers in the paddock. See you later, guys.
See you, bud.
He said it. He's
classic sign off.
We got him.
Classic. The new stuff's good.
He's sensational, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's very honest. That's what I like about Dobbo, is that he will never mince his word about anyone.
He doesn't fuck around, eh?
He's very convincing.
Yeah, 100%. Boys, we should probably get into our tips. I apologise for stuffing you around before. Becca, let's hit up your lock of the week. I don't know if I can get this screen up.
So it's a lock besides Kenny Bromwich. I understand the chances of him scoring are pretty low. I looked up, he scored 3 last year. And he scored 5 the year before.
How is this in your lock then?
What the fuck is going?
And he looked it up. I'm going to get to that. So 3 last year, 5 last year. He's obviously due for round 1. I came to me in a dream, fellas. I think it was Friday.
Yeah.
I'm even going to say it'll be. I think it'll be the second try. He won't get the first one. It'll be under the post. Towards the right post.
Oh, fuck's sakes. Move on from Kenny. What else you got?
Josh Mansour looking to prove that he shouldn't have been flicked by the Panthers.
He's a freak.
He's obviously quite a good-looking man and can play footy. Nearly as good looking as he is. So I definitely think he'll get a try as well.
Who's on the wing for the Storm? They got George Jennings.
Yes.
Jennings on that wing. Okay. Stafford Toa for
I think it's going to be a day. I think it's going to be a day out for Newcastle. I think it'll be easily 13 plus. So obviously their wingers are probably going to get a try. And then moving on to the Don, goes without saying.
Don is good. He's
pretty consistent. He's only a sure thing.
Even in matches where they're getting thumped, when they've been thumped, and the Gold Coast are no strangers to being thumped. Not this year though, from what it looks like. I think he still managed to score a try. And Shans, I think, is good money for $2.90. I think he scores more than most fullbacks, especially in big games. I'm not sure how Canberra are going to go this year. They got Josh Hodgson back, but I think they'll do the Tigers easily. There's a good chance Shans will get over.
All right, so odds of what? 148.
148. So.
Hey, gamble responsibly.
Always responsibly.
What did you put on it, Becca?
$1.
We want to go into that.
He put a lobster on it, didn't he?
His family.
Yeah, lobster.
Hey, Benny, hello, brother. How you doing? We got this before. I think at this stage, Matt, you were top right. Sorry,
Is that
mate.
Dr. Carl? Ben Storch.
Could I just say
Oh,
that
stop.
Scroopy messaged in whilst we were talking to, I think it was Dobbo, and he said something to Hassan El Mazri, and he spelt his name wrong. Next time when you text, make sure you get the player's name right.
Hassan El Mazri. Fucking hell.
Mazri? I think it's an I instead of a Y. Anyway, moving on. We're gonna.
All right, let's move on. Becca's lock. We'll go to Scotty's lock of the week.
Yeah, so I thought I'd do something a little different than the usual.
Oh, fighting!
Probably the worst lock of all time. Picking fights is just
What? You
ridiculous.
trying to get people to gamble on this?
You better
Hey, man, I said gamble responsibly, paying a measly $7.94.
Same amount of money Kenny Bromwich is paying to score.
Yeah, but I actually have a chance of winning, so there's a big difference in that one, buddy. But yeah, Kenny Bromwich to not score a try the entire season. Can I put a try? Can I put some quid on that one?
By the way, that fight the other night, the style bender and the dude that wears the scary rope around his thing, style bender's meant to be the greatest athlete on the planet and gets beaten by some random Russian I'd never heard of. Granted, I know nothing about fighting. I would be loading up on Kenny, whatever. I would be loading up on Kenny Bromwich to beat Adesanya style bender the way he was going. That was dreadful. From the highlights I watched, I'd still not like to meet him in a dark street. Who's Darren Stewart, Gavin Tucker, Bren Rothwell, and Leon Edwards?
All right, so I'd like to say that I actually did win a multi last week, so it'll probably be the first and only
How much?
of the year.
How much you win?
Wasn't
How
that
much
was a
you win?
void? Wasn't that a void that got you over the line?
Did not make
So
nothing out.
old Poiter Yarn almost, he blew me 200 on it, but they paid the rest out. So yeah.
Poiter, how dare you?
Oh, Poiter, Russians bloody doing it for me. But I still paid out 200 on a five leg fight multi, so that's not too bad. But so Darren Stewart, he's a bit more of a wrestler. Eric Anders is more of a Muay Thai style boxer, so I think he'll wrestle fuck him. Gavin Tucker, that's a close fight, but he's paying good odds, so we'll go with that one. Ben Rothwell, old school heavyweight, big hands. I just reckon he'll throw haymakers. And then Leon Edwards, ranked number 3 in the world, hasn't fought for 18 months, but he's coming up against the 15th ranked or 13th ranked Bilal, so I think that'll be an easy money bet there.
What's the main
probably
fight? Is that?
So Leon Edwards is the headliner fight for that one. He was meant to fight a guy called Chimaev, who's a bit of an up-and-comer at the moment, but pulled out due to COVID. So they've got this last-minute ring-in who's ranked like 13th or something, so I think he gets smoked quite easily. But that's also why this multi's only paying $7.90. So we're not exactly breaking the bank with this.
We've got to throw 100 on it at least too.
Scott's got a kid on the way. Every dollar counts. That's fine. $7.94. That's Scott's lock of the week. Hopefully you load up on that. Hopefully you win big time. If you lose, that is not on us. 100% it is not on us. Who we still got? Matty, we haven't gotten through yours, have we? Matt's lock. Here we go.
What do we got here? Alex Johnson.
Not SIBO. Tell him the SIBO story.
Oh, no.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I've been burnt before, hey, but I still popped him in because he's paying good money.
There was a game. There was a game last year, and as he said, and I want to reiterate, if you're just jumping on Cook Punts, good luck to you. None of these bets, we say they're locks. You will probably not win at any of them at any stage. If we win once during the season, we've all won together, great. But we did have a bet last year, and all 4 of us are on it. I believe we put $10 on to pay back $4,995.
$5.
It's on the nose at $5,000.
$5.5.
We had Kurt Mann to score, Brandon Smith. We had probably Kenny fucking Bromwich and
Brett Morris to get. It was the first leg was Brett Morris to get 2, which he did in the first half.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Cam Munster and Brandon Smith to score.
That's right. Yeah.
Cam Munster's coming back from injury.
Munster.
There was 10 try scorers. 10 try scorers.
I'll never forget when. No, it wasn't that many. I think it was 6 or 7.
Because that's
yeah, and basically the last leg was SIBO. Prolific try scorer.
So no. The last leg was SIBO, who'd scored 8 games in a row before that. They were playing a struggling Manly side. Parramatta were flying. Manly thump them, but we're still hopeful that SIBO at some stage is going to score the fucking thing. End of the game. There's 20 seconds left. We'll get this clip for next week, actually. 20 seconds left. Sivo is basically by himself. Standing in between him is Hank Scorpio, a.k.a. Brad Parker, who, respect to Brad Parker, much better football player than I've ever been, but a fringe first grader. Fucking Hank Scorpio is standing in the way of Sivo one-on-one. Not only does he shut him down, he almost knocks Sivo out, stops him like he's a freight train. Money's gone. And we know what it's like to run. We'd spent the money on our heads.
Did Sivo miss the next game? He it injured him or something. Like he was in doubt or something for the next week.
It just wasn't the same ever since. He's just let us down then, and it's just continued for the rest of the season. And when we didn't bet on him, he came through. So it's like,
hey, Matty, let's start with yours. Sorry to cut you off, bro, but
no, you're right. It's pretty much summed it up. Because he's a freak, and Alex Johnson, has he got a hamstring issue?
I think you made that up.
Yeah, I made that up. Yeah.
Oh, Becca, you had me second guessing before. I was like, did he actually? Because I Googled it and nothing popped up.
Look, lesson 1, don't listen to me.
Yeah, well,
it's on the
title, I guess. Yeah, just freaks on what they do. Kurt Mann, personal favourite, Newey Knights, Sivo, because Sivo. And just good try scorers, boys.
Sivo, I like Crichton. Kurt Mann is a ball-running 6, right? He's only playing there till Blake Green is back, I would assume, unless he played really well when he played there last year, but he won't be passing a whole lot to those outside backs. He'll be running the ball. I like that. That's my favourite one so far.
Oh.
Not saying I won't jump on your stupid fucking fight, Scott. I will, and I'll lose money. Becca can't even remember yours. I'll go back through this video, which, by the way, you can do at any stage. But this is the one I believe in, paying $113.52. I'll put at least $1.50 on it. All right, what we might do, we're going to take a real quick break. I have a little bit more news this time, and we'll rarely cover soccer, but there is some incredible news that's come out of that I want to get to in a second. Also, our Roughies coming up shortly too. The A-League has the highest viewership it's ever had this season on the telly. I watch it in bits and bobs. I enjoy watching when top teams struggle. And at the moment, I'm going to cut to a shot here. The Melbourne Victory, right? They have been a powerhouse in the A-League for, I think, pretty much as long as its inception. They lost 6-0 to their crosstown rivals, Melbourne City, on the weekend. And this is actually at Melbourne Victory training. So what you're not seeing here is basically, if you look at the bottom of your screen where you can see what looks like a fence, on the other side towards us, about 10 metres away, the Melbourne Victory players, I should say, are training. Whilst their fans are throwing the tear gas, they've got this banner, which, by the way, would have cost fucking thousands to make. I tip my cap there. But I cannot believe, and maybe it's because we're mainly rugby league fans, right? But I cannot believe, and I'm a passionate fan of a lot of sports, I would never have the energy nor the time to create a banner, turn up to training, and get tear gas on your own team.
I can't imagine rugby league fans being that organised for starters. But it looks pretty hostile, doesn't it?
When I saw the photos, and I went to an A-League game in Melbourne once, and it was City versus Adelaide. There was about 8 people there at the time. They weren't doing particularly well in their marketing, potentially. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. But I just, for me, you imagine, okay, let's paint a picture. Scott, you're a Cows fan. Imagine the Cows lose their first, let's say, 4 or 5 games. I don't think they will.
We've been there.
That's a pretty real. That's a pretty real.
That's realistic, man. They start.
I don't think it will happen, but if it did, can you imagine the people of Townsville getting off the Strand half cut, which they normally are by 12 o'clock on a Tuesday, going down to training, creating banners, bringing tear gas? It's a different world, soccer fandom.
No, otherwise that would have happened for the first 20 years of their existence. So, yeah, I don't think they've got the energy to do it up there in Townsville.
I don't think they've been tested in Melbourne with rugby league teams either, because it's been a long time since the Storm
It's
started.
so good.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know what the rugby league fans in Melbourne have in store for the Storm if they ever have a decline.
That is one of the best things ever. Hey, we're going to finish up tonight, and thank you for everyone that's taken part in the show. If you enjoyed the show at any stage, if you could tell a friend about it, that'd make a world of difference. If you thought it was just fucking ass, don't say a word to anyone. Don't tell anyone that you did anything tonight, but play with yourself. Our roughies, again, worse than the locks in a sense that our locks you probably won't win on. The roughies you definitely won't. Mine, and you know I love me some champ cheese. I couldn't look past, in a rough bet, Brandon Smith starting at hooker, who we know if they're inside the tent will attempt to burrow over. $4.70, yes please. Kurt Mann, we alluded to before, ball running 6, $3.92 is great money. The Don is good at almost $2, had to be loaded in there. Yeah.
Is this your roughie?
Yeah, 100%.
This is better than your first
I think
one.
I like this
Hang
more
on.
than I actually
This
like
is
the
way
freaking lock.
better.
Hang on. This is my lock.
Yeah, Connor Watson, get that out of there.
Is it
I
just
don't watch
because there's
the
less
video.
leg? You've got a first try scorer in your lock.
Phil fucking
Yeah,
scored
bro.
first. I'm telling you. 3 of the last 4
This
games.
is why we suck. This is why we suck.
Hey, I don't care what you
Dude,
bet on.
this is where you need to invest.
I'm going to
your
get
money.
on this one. Yeah, I'm all about this one, actually.
Go fuck
Yeah,
yourself.
I'm
Everyone,
jumping that
listen.
boy.
Brent Morris and Kickow against those middle forwards. You know I do like the Cowboys. Sorry, the edge forwards, but I just
I
can't
do
see
not.
the top of Kickow.
That's crazy small money for kick out in the position he's playing.
He's going to fall over
But-
in the 13th second.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude,
Great-
this is the
great
one.
kick chaser.
This is better than my one.
Hey, this is our bet of the day. We'll throw it up on Facebook later on. By the way, Instagram, Cook Punts FC. You can find us there as well.
Chuck a pineapple on that one, boys.
Well,
Yeah.
my girlfriend listening, Abby, I'm going to put, what do we normally bet? $2. $2. Becca, you love me. Becky, you want to talk or you want me to
Oh,
just look at
sorry.
Yeah, when you're ready, bro.
Hey, we can dissect it for you.
Margaret.
Doubled down on Stafford, and we've got the Raiders, as I said before. I think they'll do it easy. White and try-scoring machine from the halves.
Can
No
I just
Faluma.
pause you for 1 sec? That Raiders side infamously start very slow. That Tigers side under Mads, they've had another year under him. Dane Laurie is a surprise packet at fullback. Empire moving to the halves. I think it
James
could be more
Tamau.
competitive than we think. Tamau, of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
Yeah, captain, mate.
But it's a roughie. Sorry,
You're making good points, but it's also a multi of halves. And you see we've got
Melbourne
got
1 to
Jerome
6
Hughes,
is probably where you lose me.
Where's that?
Jerome Hughes, Cody Walker.
Melbourne 1 to
and
6.
Storm to win between 1 and 6 points.
Why don't you like it,
including 1 and
Matt?
6 points. I think it's going to be close.
That's the part I like.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at this now, I'm not feeling as great about it as I was at 11:30 p.m. when I was trying to sleep last night, putting it on.
Prior to Dobbo getting on here. Freaking
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah, man has a way with words.
What's that? Holy fuck, look at the odds. Yep, I'm loading up. I don't care how shit that is.
Yeah, so
Make a big
small
move.
$5 of your money will get you like a car or something if you win. Not a great
Car on
car,
Becca.
but still a car.
Just a Toyota Orion, maybe.
Potentially with air conditioning. I'm not sure.
Second-hand Swift.
Maybe.
All right, Scotty, let's go to your roughie, bud.
Yeah, look, it looks like I'm easily the most conservative after looking at both of all those bets. But I'm going, I think early rounds, you'll see upsets, essentially. So I've always just gone 3 teams that I think will upset for the year. So I think St. George have recruited pretty well. So I'm putting them in. I'm going bottom of the top, by the way, boys. Bronx to beat Eels just because I don't like the Eels. And Suncorp, fuck it. Maybe Walters will come out with something good. It is a roughie, so we're chucking that one in there. And
Here
then
comes the
South.
evolution.
And then, yeah, Souths to win. And if they win, I think Cody Walker and Latrell will have a banger of a game each. So you got to have those two.
I hope the Troll has a big year, eh?
I think he will. He seems fitter than last year. So, yeah, we'll
Except
see,
for when he
see him
plays,
coming.
except when he pulls on the Blues jersey. I hope he shits the bed when he pulls on the Blues jersey.
Hey,
Well,
hey,
if he
if he
goes well this
plays,
week, I'll be happy.
if he plays, he might not get picked again. You don't
They
know.
didn't pick him last year, did they?
Nah.
But he is
Yeah,
the
but
second
if he's playing
favourite
good
for the LEM. So he's a
Yeah.
superstar. All right, you can
The
jump
Troll
on
is
that.
second favourite.
Second favourite. I think Cam Munster was favourite last time I checked. Harry Grant was up there too, but he's out obviously for the first round at least. I think he's out for 4 weeks with that knee. But
Yeah,
but again, don't come here. By the way, don't come here for your sports news. we will read you the headlines of what we see, and then we'll assume what the rest of the
That's about
story
it.
is. For example, I mean, the soccer we covered before. I think this is the Melbourne victory. I can't remember. I think these are fans at a training session. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure that's Amy Stadium. Let's say it was a soccer and it's Melbourne victory, but we don't know shit. Our
Who picked
final
the font?
Hey?
Who picked the font on that banner? That's terrible. Absolutely disgusting.
Whoa!
Oh, I'm
Okay.
excited for you to talk us through this. Bill.
Hey!
Payday, boys, payday.
Here we go.
Consider me Tom Brady. I'm about to throw you a house, boy. Let's go. So we got Alex Johnson, Addo Carr. They're sure things. Madman Best, he's an absolute beast. He signed on to 2024 now. He's just a freak, isn't he? He's so young as well.
Young cock.
He'll cross easy. Man, I've got Sivo again, and he's making me nervous. Like anytime there's like big money on the line, I get like PTSD from it. Anthony Don speaks for itself. Toku, he's a nice, consistent player. He's just a rooster. Right? I'm not a big fan of the Chooks, but he goes all right.
Who are you talking about?
Um,
Hang on, what the fuck is going on?
Tupo.
You called Don a nice rooster, I think, without mentioning.
Tupo.
Okay,
no,
sorry.
Tupo, man. Am I mumbling too quick for you or something?
It's a shit incident in Newcastle. It's fine. Keep going.
I forget where I'm up to. I think I'm up to the Steve Crichton.
This is quite the journey. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover, boys. I'm skimming through it.
Hey, Stewie.
I just read that in the
money's
bottom.
at. Yeah, boy.
It's Crichton. You got the hammer in there. Who else you got? Bailey Simonson. Is he playing on the wing for the Raiders?
Yeah.
I believe so.
You made that up. Not for
No,
Luma.
I think he's the favourite to score.
Ravalawa.
Yeah, he was. That's why I chucked him in. This is, by every means, this is a roughie.
It's him and Rapana.
Rapana.
I don't like betting on the Cowboys at all because they suck so much. But I've got that little. What's his name? That quick dude on the wing.
Hammer.
You know what I'm talking.
The hammer.
Yeah. That.
Oh yeah.
The hammer.
He's playing the Sooners though. But other than that, yeah, he's a superstar.
There you go. I know 40.
Well, if you'd like to load up $1 on that will return you 10,170 cents, which has
man, you're pretty safe just to chuck a pineapple on it.
You get like a Holden Trax for that, maybe an old model ASX, and I'm just thinking of family vehicles there. We're all around that age bracket. We will put this whole episode up on our Facebook page, Cook Punts FC. It's also on YouTube too. So if you want to go back at any stage, write down any punts you want to lose money with us. Of course, we keep track on all of these because we check the bets as they go regularly and cash out because we are cowards. But hey, love hearing from you. Thanks for anyone that took the time to tune in for like 30 seconds for the whole thing. Sweet Jesus, if you lasted the whole thing, you're a superstar. We're going to try and do this every Wednesday, 8 o'clock. If you've got any tips for us, flick them through too. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. It's Cook Punts FC. From myself, from Becca, from Scott, and from Matt, we bid you farewell. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you soon.